On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133 and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
Welcome, race fans, to the historic Homestead-Miami Speedway here in Homestead, Florida. We've got one heck of a show on hand. Looks like we're getting the Hunt drivers actually for the NMNTS Racing Series on the front straightaway gathered up and ready in just a moment. So we'll head on over to the number 7 Tyler Justice, along with the number 89 of Spence Thompson, the number 19 of Mike Bruno, and the number 34 of Mark Broderick. These four have made it all the way from Daytona in the NMNTS Truck Series to Homestead as your championship four. And you'll see all four of these trucks are adorned with yellow windshield banners, yellow spoilers, yellow splitters, and yellow numbers, just so that all you fans out there can see exactly who the championship four are. And we're going to go ahead and get started with some interviews here. We're going to start off with number 1 seed Tyler Justice. So we'll bring Tyler Justice on into the booth. Tyler helped out with our broadcast last night of the Argus Series race at Texas. And
User
so
was
Tyler
moved to your
Justice,
channel.
Tyler Justice is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tyler, it's been one heck of a road all the way from Daytona. You and your SimSpec crew have put on a heck of a show, all 30-some races to get here to Homestead-Miami, and you're coming in as the number 1 seed, probably as the championship favorite. So just what's going through your mind, and how are you going to attack tonight?
Just mainly be consistent all night. I mean, if you can put yourself in position at the end with a decent shot around everyone else, I think you got a chance to win it. So just got to keep the nose clean. Don't push the issue. You can get in the wall real easy here at this track. So just got to be careful and make sure you're still in it at the end. Don't make any silly mistakes like speeding on pit road or sliding through your box or stuff like that, because that can cost you big time. But just be consistent all night is the main key. But hopefully we can do that and maybe pull off a championship.
Yeah, Tyler, I mean, you and Mike have been doing just that, playing Mr. Consistent, or Mr.'s Consistent, I suppose, trying to get here to Homestead, and you've done it. You've also got a couple of nice competitors alongside your teammate, or at least teammate to be in 2018, I believe, Mark Broderick, and then WFO rival Spence Thompson. So it's going to be fun watching tonight in that number 7. Wish you the best of luck. Be talking with you later.
All right, thank you.
And that was number 1 seed coming into tonight, Tyler Justice. Next up, we're going to bring in his SimSpec teammate, Mike Bruno. Mike Bruno, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4, Andrew, I got you.
Well, Mike, you're coming in here as one of the other championship favorites alongside Tyler Justice, your teammate. And, I mean, you guys have had one heck of a ride here from Daytona. Thankfully, I've been alongside you, so it's been one heck of a ride. Like I said, it's been an honor racing with you, Tyler, Spence, Mark, and everyone else here in the series. So just want to get your thoughts before we go into the next 134 laps.
Yeah, it's really been an awesome season. I am super pumped to be where I'm at right now, just to be able to have a chance at possibly getting this championship and coming home a winner, man. That's all what we really all want, especially this top 4. So just going to try and keep it in one piece and be there at the end. And as always, got to definitely try and get that W tonight. I got a feeling the championship winner is going to end up winning the race too. So going to have to stay up front all race.
Yeah, for sure. I know I've heard some confidence out of you, at least for the Grand National race tomorrow night. But when it comes to this truck race here tonight, just how confident are you, and do you think you have a shot to get it all?
I really think I do. I honestly think I do. I was running some really fast times earlier, and you really tire conservation is huge here. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. So we're all going to be kind of doing it. But if you see me hanging back, that's pretty much what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll pay off and we can have some long green flag runs here.
All right, Mike. Well, it's going to be fun watching you and your SimSpec teammate there, Tyler Justice, try and battle with the other two and each other for the course of 134 laps here at Homestead-Miami. Be looking forward to talking to you throughout the race and hopefully after the race. We'll catch up with you then. Otherwise, good luck to you, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot, Andrew. If I could really quick, man, I just want to give a big shout out to my sponsor, SimSpec, as always. Thank you very much for what you're doing, man. We definitely appreciate it. And thanks to everybody in this league. This is an awesome season, and can't wait to see what we do in 2018.
Will do. Thank you. And next up, hopefully these guys stay where they were, actually. Yeah, it looks like they will. Next up, we're going to bring on up Mark Broderick. Mark Broderick, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Andrew.
Well, Mark, kind of like I told Mike and Tyler, it's been a heck of a ride all the way from Daytona here to Homestead-Miami. Very honored to have been able to race with every one of you four tonight, battling for this championship, and everyone else out in the field. It's been a heck of a ride. Glad to say I've been a part of it. And just, coming into tonight, you got a chance at the championship. What are your thoughts as 134 long laps loom ahead?
Just try to keep it in one piece for the first half and hopefully just keep staying up front because it's hard to pass here without tearing your tires up. So try and stay up front and to finish first you must finish. So that's what I'm going with.
All right. Well, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank going into the race tonight, just for an awesome season that you've had?
Yeah, I'd like to thank RHM Motorsports and Tide Products, 1000.com, and Bradley Wilson for putting the series on, and you, Andrew, for broadcasting this race.
All right. Well, I'll let you move on down. It's been a heck of a season. Looking forward to seeing you race tonight and hopefully getting to talk to you later on.
Thank you, Andrew.
And last but not least, we're going to bring up the number 89, or Spence Thompson. Spence Thompson, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, Andrew.
Well, Spence, tell you what, same as I've said to the other three, it's been a heck of a road here from Daytona International Speedway. Been a lot of fun racing with you and everyone else out in the field. Been an honor, especially to have been racing alongside you guys all season. And it all comes down to this: 134 laps here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. How are you feeling?
I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't nervous, man. Because I mean, even though I've been in this position before last year, man, and how we came in and we're getting ready to run the race there that day and be able to try to go out there and perform and do everything right and make sure that we kept the car clean and all that. Nerves are definitely flying though, but tonight though, it's a new race. It's same kind of circumstances as far as making it this far, man. 'Cause, I mean, all these guys on this WFO team have worked their butts off all year long to get to this point, and so have each other one of these four contenders here, man. I mean, you got Broderick up here, you got Justice, you got Bruno. Each one of these guys can, easily go up there and just take that title there and deny me a possible chance at repeating as champion. But I mean, even as the season started though, man, this was like one of our main goals was try to get to the Final Four, and we accomplished that. So couldn't be any happier with that. But yeah, it's definitely time to put on the helmet and get ready to go to work here tonight, man. 'Cause this one's gonna be quite the competition level this year, man. Competition level is definitely much higher than it was last year. Not to doubt any of the competitors that were in the hunt last year. But I tell you what, man, I think this is the four of the contenders in this final race here, though, man. I mean, all four, like I said, me and then these three others. I mean, it can go any which way tonight.
For sure, man. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you battle with Mark and Tyler and Mike. It's going to be one heck of a show, I think. And I think your number 89 crew is probably one of the most ready, having won last year's championship here in the NMNTS Truck Series. So be looking forward to watching you try and defend that tonight. Best of luck to you. Hopefully we're talking to you later on, and in a good way, maybe as the 2017 champion as well.
Absolutely, man. Then just lastly, real quick, I mean, whether we win this, if we're able to win this championship or not, I mean, we can just look back on this year and say that we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish this season.
For sure. Well, Spence, I'm going to let you get back down there, get ready for this race with your team. Once again, best of luck to you, and be looking forward to seeing how you take on the next 134 laps.
Appreciate it, Andrew.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your championship here, championship 4 rather, here from Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's been a long season, all the way from Daytona International Speedway through pretty much a very accurate representation of the NASCAR Truck Series, with some races added in, for example, like at Watkins Glen and Myrtle Beach. So it's been a slightly different season from what you might see in the NASCAR Truck Series, but for the most part, it's been very similar, and we've seen kind of the same pattern where there's one driver that really dominates in Christopher Bell, for example, on the NASCAR side, then maybe, for example, Johnny Sauter as the secondary guy who kind of steals the show. I think those guys would be Tyler Justice, Mike Bruno, but Here we have Mark Broderick and Spence Thompson with another great chance to look for the 2017 title here in the NMNTS Racing Series. And as we get ready to roll over to qualifying, I'm going to throw up some more commercials as we get ready for the 134 laps ahead, the final 134 laps of the NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series 2017 season. It's going to be one heck of a show. Hopefully you guys stick around. Going to go through some commercials here and then be right back.
On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133 and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
In this cauldron of fiery wills and burning competition, rivalries heat up quicker. This is an oval of stolen victories and crushed dreams, filled with volumes of unfinished business. Sooner or later, you all become rivals. With everyone fighting over one finish line, there's never enough glory to go around.
And as you saw those commercials there, most of them presented by iRacing, and the final one presented by the NMNTS themselves. Just want to once more take a moment to thank all of our partners out there. Pit Stop Insider, TN Design, Scott Brotherton Images, SimSpec PC, all of Mobile Fleet Repair, 5-Star Drafting, Hambrick Auto, everyone out there that helps make this possible. Definitely a big thank you to you. And we're going to bring up the highest qualifier that we didn't already talk to. That's going to be Aiden Young. We'll bring him up to the interview booth. Aiden Young, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you, Andrew.
Well, Aiden, I figured I'd bring you up since you are qualified third currently, the highest driver that is not one of the Hunt drivers, and one of only two that split any of the Hunt drivers up in the top four, and that's actually going to move Mike Bruno into sixth with Christopher Matthews in fifth. But tell you what, Aiden, you've got one heck of a truck out there, it looks like, tonight, qualifying third place, a tenth and a half off of pole sitter Tyler Justice. How's it feeling tonight, and do you think you have what it takes to spoil this championship battle?
The truck feels good. It's just really tightened the center, and on the long runs, I'm not too great. I'm better on the short runs, and I think they're just going to pull me off the long runs, so we'll see.
Well, Aiden, it should be a fun show watching you battle with these guys tonight for 134 laps here in Homestead-Miami. Anyone out there that you want to thank for this great qualifying run and hopefully a great race run?
Yeah, just want to thank Jaeger Racing, NMNTS for letting me race here, and congrats to all the Final Four to make it this far.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you go back down there and catch up with your team before we get going here tonight, Aiden. It's been a great season so far. You've done quite a bit here in the NMNTS Truck Series. Got a win back there at Texas back in, I believe, June. So I just want to mention that real quick. And as the season comes up to a close, be looking forward to racing with you next year in 2018.
Yes, sir. I'll be back.
And as we move him back down there to catch up with his team before the race, we're going to bring up the other spoiler up there in the front of the field in qualifying. Christopher Matthews qualified fifth so far. Christopher Matthews, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4, man. I got a copy.
Well, Chris, I haven't seen you in one of these races in a little while, but you're coming into tonight kind of just as a championship spoiler, I guess, and currently you're doing just that. You're spoiling the championship battle up there. You're one of only two drivers to split those championship four up, proving why they're the championship four, and you're currently qualified fifth, just ahead of Mike Bruno, just behind Spence Thompson. So as 134 laps loom ahead, and you have pretty much the only role to play of championship spoiler, just how are you going to attack these 134 laps, 200 miles here?
Well, I'm definitely not going to try to ruin anybody's chances by wrecking them. I definitely want these guys to race it out. They've been doing a pretty good job of battling each other all year, and I've only been here really part time. So I'll see what I can get. See what I can give these guys. I'm kind of fast. I think I got a good car here, good truck, and I'm just here to just show out, really.
All right, well, it's going to be fun watching you in that number 92 TN Design Chevrolet here tonight. Best of luck to you, Chris. Is there anyone you want to thank as we go into tonight's event?
Just thank the owners and the people watching here. Thank you for the design. This is your baby here. This is your truck. So I'll try to keep it clean for the last one of the season. And that's pretty much it, man.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you. Be talking to you later on, hopefully, and be looking forward to these 134 laps.
10-4.
And again, that was Christopher Matthews. So we just got to talk to two of the guys playing spoiler here tonight. Going to be Christopher Matthews and Aiden Young. And it looks like we're going to get to talk to Tyler Justice one more time before the race gets going. So Tyler Justice, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Tyler, we've already talked to you tonight, so there can't be a whole lot more to cover, but you did go out there and get pole, and only by a little bit over Mark Broderick. Looks like 0.02 of a second or thereabouts. Heck of a lap time from you, though. Looks like a 30.601, about the fastest I've seen here all week at Homestead-Miami. So how'd you do it, Tyler?
No clue. It's that was a really good lap we put together right there. Fastest we've been all week for sure. But yeah, gonna start up front, try to keep the nose clean, and just try not to put ourselves in any position where we make a mistake. I mean, all we got to do is beat the other three drivers, and we're the champions. So not gonna push any harder than I have to. Just gonna maintain what I have to do to overhaul the other three, and I think we'll be fine.
Well, Tyler, it was a lot of fun commentating the Texas race last night in the ARCA Series with you. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you battle for a championship the next two nights, and starting with tonight's Ford EcoBoost 200 from Homestead-Miami. So, going to be a lot of fun to watch you battle with Mike Bruno, Mark Broderick, and Spence Thompson. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout-out to real quick before we get going?
Yes, sir. I want to thank all my teammates, especially the other two that are in here in the hunt with us for this championship. It's cool to get 3 MR drivers in the final 4. But yeah, I want to thank my sponsor SimSpec as always for being on the car all season. Hopefully we can cap it off with a championship. And I want to thank Bradley and Michael for the league, and you up in the booth.
Sounds good, man. Hopefully we're talking to you later on, and hopefully in one of the better ways, maybe as the champion here for 2017. But until then, we'll let you get back down there, talk with your team, and get ready for tonight's event.
All right, I appreciate it.
Again, that was Tyler Justice. We've now talked with the guy twice tonight, so got a great feeling of how he's going to attack here tonight, and how he even got that qualifying lap in the first place. Definitely some quick lap times out there. We have at least for, it looks like the top 2. Yeah, the top 2 are both in the low 30.6 range. There's a couple of guys in the 30.7s, and it looks like it kind of starts to, I guess, plateau around the 30.8, 30.9 range, although there are some guys maybe aren't hitting their marks quite right, closer to a 31.1, so definitely a wide range of lap times. And as we wait for these guys to grid here, just want to remind you that this is the championship battle, as we've been talking about pretty much all night long. There's 4 guys coming into tonight in the NMNTS Truck Series hunt who have a chance at the championship, kind of like in NASCAR, where it all comes down to the final 4. Those 4, as have been mentioned a few times now, are Tyler Justice in the number 7 SimSpec Chevrolet, Mike Bruno in the number 19 SimSpec Chevrolet, Mark Broderick. It says Ryan Broderick on the ticker, but it is Mark Broderick in the number 34 Tide Chevrolet, and Spence Thompson in the number 89 American Revolutionary Chevrolet. So it's going to be a heck of a show. There's a lot on the line for these guys. They've been working since Daytona back in mid-February to try and get here and battle for the championship. Spence Thompson has last year's championship under his belt, and he's got his teammate Terry Mason, who is starting farther back in the field, as this year's ARCA Series champion, to try and help him out get this championship here tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys battle. There's almost a full field. We're only 8 drivers shy of a full field here in the NMNTS Racing Series. 24 have taken time, although I'm sure a few more will still race. I just haven't taken time, so it'll be fun to watch these guys take to the track. And for just a moment, we're gonna take just a quick break until these guys grid up. And as the field gets ready to grid, we're going to go through your starting order here. On pole, like we've mentioned, we've got Tyler Justice in the number 7. Try and get him on screen. There he is. In second place, starting second place is going to be the number 34 of Mark Broderick in the Tide Chevrolet. Starting third, Aiden Young in the number 9. Outside of him, in row number 2, position number 4 is going to be Spence Thompson, another one of the championship competitors, along with the number 7 and the number 34 in row 1. In row number 3, Christopher Matthews on the inside, Mike Bruno on the outside. In row number 4 is going to be Pacer Popham and Cody West. On the inside of row number 5 is going to be Zach Lindgren in the number 85. On the outside of him, in position number 10, is going to be Brandon Eltoff in the number 61 Napa Chevrolet. The inside of row 6 is going to be Trevor Harmon in the number 27 Chevrolet. The outside of him is going to be Gordon Larson in the 00. Inside of row, in position number 13, row 7, is going to be Kenneth Yance in the number 72. The outside of him, that's going to be Ryan Daniels in the AC/DC Toyota Tundra, number 87, starting 14th. Starting 15th tonight is going to be Michael Redding in the number 02. To the outside of him, we'll have the number 5 of Jason Alexander. Starting in 17th will be number 17, Alan Westman. To his outside is going to be teammate David Heisen, the number 62. Starting 19th, it's going to be Jason Burgess in the number 23. Ronald Whiteley starting to his outside in the number 99. The number 6 of Matt Skipper will be starting 21st position with Corey Walters to his outside in the number 28. The number 818 of Derek Robinson will be starting 23rd with Terry Mason to his outside in 24th position. There's some other guys throughout the field who didn't lay down qualifying times. They'll kind of just be starting kind of chaotically out there at the back, but all focus turns to Tyler Justice leading the field down here through turns 3 and 4 to the green flag. He's got teammate Mark Broderick to his outside. He's battling with him for a championship. 134 laps to go in the 2017 season as the pace car makes the hard left turn into the pit lane. Tyler Justice in control of the field. Green flag is out, and he's off. Tyler Justice off and away with Mark Broderick on his outside. Aiden Young behind him, trying to look for any room off into turn one. He's not going to find anything just yet. Tyler Justice going to lock that bottom side down and pull away from the field as best as he can. Doesn't have much of a lead just yet. The draft is going to come into play big time down these long straightaways here at Homestead-Miami. Currently, Aiden Young trying to take over that second position, and he will down into turn three. He's going to look to the inside of Tyler Justice. Won't get there just yet, but he's trying to make a surge up to him. Tyler Justice exits turn 4, lap 1 with the lead. Aiden Young pulling a slide job on Mark Broderick there to turn 4. Mark Broderick will cross him over down to the bottom side, off into turn 1, going to look for that second spot once again. And as these guys battle for the second position, Christopher Matthews right behind him with a great view of this battle off into turn 3. That T&N Designs Chevrolet working quite nicely for Chris up there in the 4th position so far. They're going to get single file there, though, up ahead of him, and it looks like this field is going to settle in for the most part. There's a slight battle back there with the number 32 and the number 19, it looks like, for maybe 6th position. That's going to be Pacer Popham on the inside of Mike Bruno. Zach Lindgren also getting in that battle. Zach Lindgren was one of the championship competitors that was eliminated last week at Phoenix International Raceway, along with myself. I've been racing with these guys since Daytona, but taking the week off this week to help make sure that they are broadcast online, and Pacer Popham trying to go back down to the inside of Zach Lindgren, and Zach Lindgren trying to work the top side and get around him and battle with Spence Thompson and Mike Bruno. And tell you what, it was mentioned last night as we broadcast the ARCA race here, Spence Thompson, one of the best guys here on the long run on old tires, and I think that's starting to show as he's maybe not the fastest here on the short run, kind of starting to fall back to Mike Bruno a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised to see that truck come back alive here in a few laps as the tires start to get worn in, but at least for now it looks like that number 89 going in the backwards direction. Cody West trying to get in this battle. Cody West and the number 77 Cody West Incorporated Toyota Tundra trying to get in this battle. He hasn't made a whole lot of starts this season, but for now trying to get his name out there, trying to turn up the heat with these guys, currently battling Pacer Popham for the 8th position there. As now Brendan Elshoff going to get into the battle. The number 61 Napa Chevrolet. This is only his 3rd start, believe it or not, but he's a dirt guy coming over to pavement, and he really doesn't run pavement a whole lot, but in his 3rd start only in the NMNTS Truck Series, getting into the battle inside the top 10, just ahead of Kenneth Yance, actually. Kenneth Yance from the number 72 won a totally for fun truck race a little while back. That was our first broadcast experiment with the NMNTS Pavement Series, and he ended up winning that thing at Daytona. So he certainly knows how to work the draft here in these trucks and get something done, but it's going to take a little bit more than the draft here tonight to try and win. Brendan Elshoff currently running in the 9th position, actually, as he gets around Pacer Popham. And he will try and leave Pacer and Kenneth in his dust, but Pacer Popham gets a great run out of turn 4, gets right to Brendan's bumper. Not going to go anywhere with it just yet, as Pacer Popham is actually going to follow Brendan Elshoff for the most part down off into turn 1. Brendan trying to work the bottom side. Looks like it's kind of hurting him on corner exit, and that's going to be the story of the night. The bottom side might be good into the corner, but it's going to be hard to exit the corner with any kind of decent speed. It's going to be a lot easier to actually just run the top side. You'll have to suffer a little bit on corner entry, but you'll have a lot better speed exiting the corner and back up to the lead. Tyler Justice checking out on the field. Aiden Young currently running second, 7/10 back. But Tyler Justice using that first place starting spot to his advantage to try and just get away from the rest of the field and try and check out and just run his race. Currently doing a great job in that number 7 SimSpec Chevrolet. And if anyone out there in the comments has a question, go ahead and leave it. I'll try and answer it as soon as I can. But currently we're just watching the green flag laps wind down on the 2017 season here. Only 134 laps in this 200-mile event here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And currently Tyler Justice has led all 9 laps in the books. Aiden Young trying to catch up to him, but falling back more and more, about a 10th every couple of laps it looks like, as he has now fallen back to almost a second behind leader Tyler Justice. That would also put Tyler Justice as the 2017 NMNTS Truck Series champion. Mitchell Hamilton out there asking, when are we getting the pit crew animation? Honestly, could not tell you. That's something iRacing announced a little while back, that we will be getting full-on pit crew animations like the NASCAR video games and some other console racing games have already. I couldn't tell you when exactly we're going to get it, but I would expect it sometime next spring. As Tyler Justice continues to lead this field and runs the fastest laps by almost 2/10 over the rest of the field, he's just off and away in that number 7, and this is kind of what I expected for him to get out to this early lead. But it'll be interesting to see what happens if Spence Thompson is able to hold on to those tires. He's currently running 5th. Spence Thompson, one of the best guys out here on the long run. There we go. And, you know, right now he's sitting back there in 5th. It's still a great position as far as, you know, trying to win the championship, but he is sitting a little ways back, and it's going to be hard to make up that time in these trucks where it's so hard to pass because the air, you know, slows the truck down so much because there's so much drag, but at the same time that can help you out try and utilize the draft. So it's a win-win situation here with the aero package on these NASCAR trucks, as currently Spence Thompson leading a smaller pack a little ways behind the leaders. This is going to encompass pretty much from 5th on back to almost 11th position. As we're going to take a quick look through the field, Tyler Justice still leading this show, and by a pretty hefty margin over Aiden Young, almost 2 seconds. Now, actually, Mark Broderick has moved into the 2nd position just ahead of Aiden Young, so about a second and a half back to 2nd place. That's going to be Mark Broderick in the number 34 Tide Chevrolet, looking for that championship here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And in 3rd place, actually 3rd and 4th, are going to be a couple of championship spoilers. Aiden Young and Christopher Matthews started up front and trying to hold their positions, doing a good job so far. Aiden Young in the Bose Chevrolet. Christopher Matthews, just mentioned him, one of the championship spoilers, trying to get a race win here tonight in the final race of the 2017 Truck Series season. Currently running 4th. In 5th place is going to be Spence Thompson, like we've mentioned, currently running just ahead of championship contender Mike Bruno. These guys would be 3rd and 4th in the championship if the race were to end now, but luckily for them, we've still got 120 laps to go as these guys run 5th and 6th on the field, trying to look for some grip. You see Mike Bruno pushed up a little bit. Behind them is going to be Cody West running in the 7th position, and the number 77 sponsor here, Toyota Tundra. Running in 8th is Zach Lindgren in the PSI TV Bob Small Engine Repair Chevrolet. That paint scheme is a bit of a throwback to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2008 season. Zach Lindgren battles with Pacer Popham and Brennan Elshoff for the 8th position. Pacer Popham, Brennan Elshoff, a couple of the part-time guys. Like we already mentioned, Brennan Elshoff only in his 3rd race here in the NMNTS Racing Series. So it's very nice to see him putting on one heck of a show already, running in the 10th position currently, but a little ways behind them, we're going to have Michael Redding starting to creep into this battle in the number 02, Captain Morgan Toyota Tundra. Very nice paint scheme there, actually. The two-tone, I was going to say dual tone, and I started to mix it with two-tone. Captain Morgan Toyota Tundra paint scheme. In the 12th position, the biggest mover of the race so far, the number 78 of Austin Jones in the Wolfpack Performance Chevrolet. He actually just got into the wall, as I mentioned him. Got into the turn 4 wall there, just getting tight up out of the corner. He's currently running in the 12th position, might lose that position to Jason Alexander, though, but, you know, either way, a very good race for Austin Jones so far, as he's come all the way from position 25 as he had to start from the rear, wasn't able to turn a qualifying time. That number 78 looking very fast on that top side. He got into the wall a lap ago, though. That might hold him back for a little while, but looking like he's got one of the best trucks out here. He's gone through half the field already. And so that brings me to Jason Alexander running right alongside of him. Jason Alexander, the number 5 MR Motorsport Chevrolet, just trying to turn laps and close on what's been a kind of a frustrating season for the driver. He almost made the hunt but was eliminated at Chicago by just a few points, I believe. And he was just behind DJ Hargrove, I want to say, to try and make it into the hunt. DJ Hargrove was eliminated with David Levine in the first round. As we go back to the 14th position, that's going to be Jason Bergerson, the number 23 Monster Toyota Tundra. In 15th is going to be Alan Westman in the number 17. He's battling with Jared Beasley, actually, in the number 114 right now for that 15th position. Jared Beasley looks like he may be able to clear Alan Westman in a couple of more laps. These guys have already run 20 laps rather quickly and rather quietly. No cautions to speak of, no real big incidents to speak of at all. But as we continue to go through the field here, moving back to 17th position is going to be Kenneth Yance. We saw him trying to get into the top 10 a little while ago. He started 13th and has fallen back to 17th position, running a very nice good luck paint scheme to all of the championship contenders here tonight. Just behind him in the number 27, we've got a new guy. He actually made his first start last week at Phoenix International Raceway in the number 27. Is actually, I think we have someone coming into the pits. I'm not sure just who that was. It may not have been somebody up at the front at all. But currently, Trevor Harmon has actually just gotten by Kenneth Yance for the 17th position. Trevor Harmon, one of the new guys here in the NMNTS Racing Series. Just behind this battle, though, we've got DJ Hargrove, one of the previous championship contenders in that Alpine Stars Toyota Tundra. DJ Hargrove was eliminated in round 1 of the hunt, along with David Levine, as previously mentioned. And he is akin to normal racer Billy Hargrove, who actually is not in attendance, I don't think, tonight. I'll look through the field once more, but I don't think Billy is here with us. Actually, he is. Billy Hargrove is in the field, so we'll get to him in just a minute. Let's move back to the 20th position. That's going to be Ryan Daniels in the Malcolm Young AC/DC Tribute Toyota Tundra there, if I ever get Tundra down. That paint scheme is actually crossed with Mike Skinner's paint scheme of old in that Toyota Tundra, and a very gold look in honor of Malcolm Young, who did pass away this past weekend. Malcolm Young, an AC/DC guitarist. In the 21st position, almost the 21th, in the 21st position, we're going to have the 00 of Gordon Larson Jr. He's actually in the Final Four for tomorrow night's Grand National finale here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. The Grand National cars for the NMNTS are just the NASCAR Xfinity cars, so be looking out for him in the 00 to make some noise and try and challenge for a championship tomorrow night. Currently running in 22nd is Blake Falone. Not making a whole lot of noise, but he was almost given a spot into, or he almost earned, rather, a spot into this year's hunt in the Truck Series. Came up just a little bit short, even though he ran pretty strong at places like Las Vegas and Bristol. Ran pretty strong in that Pokemon Chevrolet. Obviously a nod to NASCAR legend Jeff Gordon there with that paint scheme. In the 23rd position, that's going to be Corey Walters in number 28, trying to chase down Blake Falone, actually. We'll go to his onboard as he tries to chase down that number 11. Corey Walters, one of the quieter guys this season, actually had to step away from racing for a little while throughout the spring and the summer, and then came back about Eldora in July, and actually he's going to make the pass on Blake Falone rather easily, I think. He's got most of Blake Falone cleared, and I think off into turns 1 and 2, he's going to be able to clear Blake for that position. That would be for 22nd. As we fall behind him, Terry Mason in the 24th position, trying to battle with Craig Lerman right now. Terry Mason, your 2017 NMNTS Disabled Military Veterans ARCA Series champion, but not necessarily one of the fastest guys over in the Truck Series. He certainly does his best, and he's had some great runs. Looks like maybe he just doesn't have a whole lot of speed here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway, but battling there with Craig Lerman, who actually almost eked out a victory last night at Texas. In the 25th position, that's going to be Billy Hargrove in the number 22. Billy Hargrove, the father of DJ Hargrove, who's out in the field. And actually, we've got a car in the pits. That's going to be Austin Jones. I'm not sure why he came into the pit lane, but he's got some right side damage. We know he got into the wall just a little while ago, and now he's a couple of laps down as he decided to come into the pits and make some repairs to that truck, I'm guessing. In the 28th position, looks like 2 laps down, is going to be David Heise in the Halmar International Chevrolet, a nod to Stuart Friesen. David Heise was one of your championship contenders coming into last week's Phoenix race that was on PSI TV. He unfortunately was not able to advance. He ended up, I think, about 80 points behind the cut line. And he's currently running a couple of laps down, a little bit off pace here in the number 62 Chevrolet. In the 29th position, going to be Derek Robinson in the number 818. He's 3 laps down and losing some more spots, maybe. Actually, no, he's losing just more track position. Looks like he's got some right side damage, maybe some left side damage. Might have missed an event earlier on, actually, with the number 818. As he continues to fall back. He's currently 3 laps down, like I mentioned, and it's not looking too good for him here tonight. And finally, rounding the field off in the 30th position is going to be Matt Skipper. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him. He's also got some damage. Actually, we'll try and go back to his previous lap, see exactly what happened. He has a clean truck here. We'll go ahead and just watch his lap, see if we can pick up on what happened here to Matt Skipper. This is a replay. This is not live racing. Matt Skipper racing around the number 00 of Gordon Larson and the number 11 of Blake Falone. I don't really know what happens here. He actually gets into the fence going into turn 3 and will end up grinding that truck on the wall. Ends up getting loose as he was trying to hold it up out of harm's way. Gets into the wall even harder. And I think that's going to end his night. He tried to pull it down the track. And actually, that's the same time that something happened to Derek Robinson there as he went for a spin, but there was no caution. So we'll try and get a look at what happens to Derek Robinson here, pretty much at the same time as he was trying to miss Matt Skipper wrecking up at the top of the track, got on the apron, got loose, ended up spinning head-on into the wall. And I actually missed someone as I was going through the field. We did miss Ronald White, unfortunately. I apologize for that. But Ronald White running at the tail end of the lead lap, 21 seconds behind the leaders, as Pacer Popham makes his way into the pits in that number 32 Coca-Cola Chevrolet. So he'll be the first driver to hit pit lane, 34 laps into the event. That means 100 laps to go in this championship battle. Currently, Tyler Justice still leading the charge. He's got a huge lead over Mark Broderick, almost 3 seconds now, and then another, it looks like 4.5 seconds all the way back to Spence Thompson in third. Mike Bruno is currently running in fourth. So all 4 championship contenders running nose to tail here at Homestead-Miami Speedway tonight for the NMNTS Truck Series Ford EcoBoost 200. Tyler Justice trying to set sail, and he has done that so far, checking out on the rest of the field. Actually, a battle for third place heating up. That's Mike Bruno and Spence Thompson running and battling for the third position and the championship later on here tonight. As laps wind down here, these two know they have to get up there and try and make something happen with Tyler Justice and Mark Broderick, or they'll never have a chance. But Mark Broderick, Tyler Justice, looks like they have a handle on this place as they're starting to run away from everyone else in the battle, although Tyler Justice still running away from Mark Broderick. We'll actually go to Mark Broderick's onboard view just so you can see how far ahead Tyler Justice is. That dot that's moving along the wall up there, that is Tyler Justice. Actually, Mark Broderick just hit the wall as we switched to him. But that dot up there along the wall, and actually now down close to the apron, is Tyler Justice. So that's what a 3-second gap here looks like. It's hard to see him from where Mark is. And, you know, it's just a matter of these long-run battles. You got to try and manage your tires and hang on for the long run, have some speed, and try and run guys down. So as I mentioned, Pacer Popham did come into the pits just a little while ago. Alan Westman came in a little while before him. It looks like about 3 laps before him, actually. And Billy Hargrove has also visited the pit lane, but someone to look at now, Cody West making his trip down the pit lane. Looks like he got into the fence a little while ago, but I don't think that's kind of what's influencing him to come down into the pit lane. He's going to come in presumably for 4 tires and fuel to get back into the race, and I think this is just a short pit strategy to try and get a leg up on the rest of the field, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see the championship contenders work their way into the pits here. And this would be about the time that I would suggest for Spence Thompson to visit the pit lane, try and get a leg up on the rest of the field. And you might have to pit a little bit earlier and suffer a little bit of speed to the guys that you're racing, but at the same time, you're going to have the better tires here while they're running about 2 seconds off pace. Spence Thompson currently battling with the number 92 of Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews looking to get that 5th position back from Spence Thompson. And Zach Lindgren just a little ways behind in this battle, trying to just hang on in that PSI TV Chevrolet. Spence Thompson will hang on for that 4th position, at least for now, ahead of Christopher Matthews, trying to stay in the championship battle. Again, Spence Thompson was your 2016 NMNTS Truck Series champion. He ended up winning the championship back here last winter at Homestead-Miami Speedway, and this year made his way back into the hunt to try and have a chance at this year's championship. Doesn't look like it's going so well for him, even though he's running 4th, though. He has to pass the 3 guys ahead of him if he wants that championship, and it's going to be hard to pass Tyler Justice at any 1.5-mile speedway, and currently that's showing as Tyler Justice checking out on the field currently has a 4.5-second lead over Mark Broderick. Tyler Justice making easy work of this field and has lapped quite a few guys all the way up to 22nd now, as a few guys have actually visited the pit lane as well. And so Tyler Justice with clean sailing ahead, just kind of motoring off away to a championship at this point. If these guys can't get up there and challenge him, he's actually closing in on the number 62 with David Heisa. Lap traffic right there. I hate to talk about him so much. Actually, we've got sounds of an accident up ahead. I'm not sure what just happened. Maybe with the 62. Doesn't look like it was him. I don't know what happened right there, but it sounded like there was an accident up ahead. I'm not totally sure what happened. Doesn't look like there's anything catching my eye. No smoke on the racetrack with this overhead view. Doesn't look like anything happened. So as Tyler Justice comes around to lead one more lap, that's going to be 44 laps in the books. 90 laps to go as Blake Falone exits the pit lane. Terry Mason is also in for service. He's going to get 4 Goodyear tires and a full tank of Sunoco fuel and get out of the pit lane and get back into the race. As Blake Falone gets back up to speed in the Pokemon Chevrolet, we'll be looking for more guys to make their pit stops sooner and sooner. Only 20 have stayed out so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some guys coming in. Looks like maybe the 27 could be coming in this time. Actually, he'll just be letting Alan Westman by. Alan Westman hasn't been here in a while, but actually a few pitters. That's going to be Mike Bruno and Mark Broderick coming into the pit lane for service, pitting out of the 2nd and 3rd positions respectively. And so Mike Bruno in the pit lane, along with Mark Broderick. This should bring in the rest of the championship contenders. We'll be looking to see if that brings Tyler Justice in a lap or so. Doesn't look like... Actually, Kenneth Yance has also come in with these guys. Kenneth Yance in the number 72, making his pit stop. Mark Broderick Mike Bruno getting back up to speed, and actually a pass in the pits. Mark Broderick is going to lose that position to Mike Bruno as they exit the pit lane. That's big because that's everything in the championship battle. Looks like Mark may have some right front damage, so that may have been what he was fixing and maybe took him a little while. Also, Zach Lindgren in the pit lane in the number 85. As well as Brendan Elshoff in the number 61 right behind him, and Ryan Daniels in the number 87. Tyler Justice may be coming in this time. Got some radio traffic from him. He won't come in this time. Looks like maybe he's trying to give the lane to the number 11 of Blake Falone. Ryan Daniels working his way back out onto the track. You can see some right side damage on that number 87 right there as he works his way around the access road to leave the pits. Number 61 finally leaving as well. Those guys are teammates over at Daniels Cardinale Incorporated, a brand new team in the NMNTS Truck Series for 2018. Jackson Allen, another driver for that stable, but unfortunately not in attendance here tonight. As those guys will merge back onto the Speedway, all eyes once again turn to Tyler Justice as he's going to make his way into the pits, finally coming into the pit lane, and Spence Thompson may have been staying out. Actually, he's going to come in as well. He's going to bring in Christopher Matthews at the same time. So Spence Thompson, Tyler Justice making their pit stops at the same exact time. Kind of the same deal as with the number 34 and the number 19 of Mark Broderick and Mike Bruno. So very interesting to see these guys come down the pit lane at the same time, despite being on different teams and likely different strategies here. They'll come into the pit lane at the same time, the 92 right behind Spence Thompson. 4 tires and fuel going on both of those trucks as Tyler Justice is off and away. Looks like he should maintain the lead once this all cycles out. Aiden Young, though, going to assume the current lead of the race. Has not pitted just yet and has actually put Tyler Justice a lap down, actually almost a lap down for the moment, but not quite. Aiden Young in the number 9 Bose Audio Systems Chevrolet actually going to put Spence Thompson a lap down, but not Tyler Justice. That tells you the kind of split between those two. Jared Beasley also hitting the pit lane in the number 114. He's off and away. We also see Corey Walters in the pit lane getting service. But back to Tyler Justice. Tyler should easily cycle out to the race lead when everything is said and done, as the next truck behind him is going to be Mike Bruno, his teammate and his competitor for the championship here in the NMNTS Truck Series. We've gone green so far for 51 laps here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. No cautions as of yet, and these guys are just motoring away trying to play the long run strategy. I don't think Spence Thompson anticipated this kind of a long run right at the start of the race, because we saw Spence Thompson really fall back on that first run, and he's one of the guys to watch for on the long run. So it'll be interesting to see if he adjusts how he drives the second run of the race and maybe tries to make up some time on the guys ahead of him. But Spence Thompson already in a hole trying to dig himself out of it as we eclipse lap 53 of 134. Aiden Young still in the lead for now. He has not pitted just yet. Tyler Justice and actually PJ Popham is the guy to look for. PJ Popham has placed himself between Tyler Justice and Mike Bruno as Aiden Young will make his way into the pit lane. PJ Popham currently running in the 7th position between Tyler and Mike, but he's going to be falling back as laps wind down. But back up to the front, Aiden Young making his way into the pit lane. These guys have to use the access road, as you're seeing there from Aiden. He actually may not have gotten all the way down to pit speed. I'm not totally certain there. So he checked up for a second and then got back going at the same speed. That should give the lead for now to DJ Hargrove as he battles with the number 27 of Trevor Harmon. Trevor Harmon, one of the new guys to the NMNTS Racing Series, doing a great job in that number 27 so far. And this time he hasn't been collected in an early wreck, so we're seeing exactly what Trevor Harmon can do in that number 27. It looks like he's playing the long run game, trying to wait on a caution here, trying to run as much as he can with the hopes of cycling out to the front if we get a caution. Actually, he's going to make his way down the pit lane in that number 27 Chevrolet. Going to pull that thing through the access road. It's a hard thing to do to really maintain speed through both access roads because, speed is unrestricted. But that doesn't mean you can go 200 miles an hour through the access road. It's a flat, very thin and flat strip of pavement, so it's hard to keep your speed up without going off track. Michael Redding also in the pit lane. He's actually exiting the pit lane as we speak. And this should bring Jason Alexander and DJ Hargrove to the pits very, very soon. They haven't pitted just yet, but considering they're running about 2 seconds slower than they should be, I would expect them very, very soon to get 4 fresh tires and a full tank of fuel and go the rest of the distance here. But they could actually be trying to run it halfway, run it to halfway, and then either only pit that one time for the entire race, or maybe go as far as they can and then only have to do 2 tires later on instead of a full 4-tire pit stop. But I don't think it's going to be worth just how much time they're losing currently as the laps wind down in this first stint. Almost a 60 laps through this 134 lap event. DJ Hargrove currently your leader on the long run, but not by a whole lot. 2 seconds behind him is going to be Jason Alexander, and then only 10 more seconds behind Jason Alexander is going to be Tyler Justice, your first car on me tires. Jason Alexander will hit the pit lane in the number 5, and now it's just up to DJ Hargrove to try and hold that lead for a little while longer. So 60 laps versus about 50 that Tyler Justice ran. And it looks like DJ Hargrove may be making his way into the pits this time on lap number 60 of 134, and he is. So that will give the lead away to Tyler Justice in the number 7 Sim-Spec Chevrolet. And as the green flag run and the green flag pit stops have cycled out, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to coverage of the NMNTS Truck Series season finale here in 2017 from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Currently, Tyler Justice still your leader by about 7 seconds over Mike Bruno in the number 19, currently working his way through some lap traffic right now, battling with Craig Lerman, and a big moment there as he was trying to get to the inside of Craig Lerman, and Craig Lerman actually drove down the track. I'm not sure if that was to move out of Tyler's way or to block him. I would assume the former of the two. I'd assume it wasn't to block Tyler, as these guys are much slower than Tyler Justice on this long run, and Tyler kind of just working his way through as much traffic as he can. It's actually going to lap up through position number 13. So only 12 cars left on the lead lap, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this race go wire to wire, green flag. Once you get through one run of green flag conditions, these guys generally figure out how to keep going green flag the rest of the race. So if we don't see a caution at all in this race, I wouldn't be too surprised, as Tyler Justice continues to lead these 200 miles, 134 laps. We're at halfway right now, and we'll go back through the field. So, of course, Tyler Justice is still your leader in the number 7. He's led almost every single lap so far as we continue to run here in the Ford EcoBoost 200 for the NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series. In the second position is going to be his teammate Mike Bruno, also sponsored by SimSpec, but don't look now, Mike. You've got somebody right on your bumper, as Mark Broderick, trying to work his way around Mike Bruno, has made up some time over the long run, is actually about to pass the number 19 if he can find a way around him. Looks like maybe there's a slower truck up ahead to maybe use Mike as a pick, but as laps wind down here, Mark Broderick in the third position, both in the race and in the championship battle. Again, the hunt is going on. The NMNTS hunt is in full swing. This is the final race of the season and the final race of the hunt, of course, and that means that only 4 drivers are in contention, but they're all even at 5,000 points coming into tonight. And if Tyler Justice wins this race, he takes all. If any one of these guys wins the race, they take all. So bonus points are in effect. That's kind of unlike NASCAR in that respect. So that's kind of the difference between the NMNTS and the NASCAR system, I believe. That may have changed throughout the week. There were some rumblings. I don't want to necessarily call anything out actually just yet. That may have changed. But basically, it's a winner-take-all format. Even if the number 7 or any of these guys ends up winning the race, there's nothing anyone else can do about it. So with 64 laps to go here in the Ford EcoBoost 200 for the NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series, 4th place currently going to Spence Thompson in the number 89 American Revolutionary Clothing Chevrolet. He's running 4th in the race and in the championship battle, trying to work his way up to the guys up ahead, but it's going to be harder to make up any ground on Tyler Justice, as he has given himself a 7-second lead over these past 72 laps. In the 5th position, going to be another WFO driver, actually battling with Christopher Matthews. That's Zach Lindgren in the number 85 PSI TV Bob Small Engine Auto Repair Chevrolet. A very nice look there. A nod to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who did retire from full-time NASCAR racing last night at Homestead-Miami Speedway in the NASCAR Cup Series, and a nice nod to him there from Zach Lindgren in that Chevrolet, reminiscent of Dale Jr.'s 2008 AMP Energy paint scheme. In the 6th position, trying to work his way around Zach Lindgren, is going to be Christopher Matthews in the TM Designs number 92. In 7th spot, Jared Beasley has worked his way from 27th up into 7th position, trying to make something happen. He won last week at Phoenix, and he's trying to do something again this week here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, but he's got a lot of work to do. He's 19 seconds behind race leader Tyler Justice. In the 8th position, is going to be Jason Burgess, currently running 22 seconds behind race leader Tyler Justice, and that 32 going by him is not for position. PJ Popham actually just pitted, and Christopher Matthews also making his way to the pit lane. Alan Westman trying to get by the number 23 as well. Again, not for position. Michael Redding is the next driver behind Jason Burgess for position. He's running in the 9th spot, just ahead of Trevor Harmon. These guys are actually battling for a position on the racetrack. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on here. Trevor Harmon trying to make a name for himself in the NMNTS Racing Series. This is only his second start, and he's running inside the top 10, so just a tip of the hat to him as he runs in the 10th position, just ahead of leader Tyler Justice as this long green flag run rages on. Not a single caution yet in tonight's race. In the 11th spot, we're going to have Blake Falone, who actually was just lapped by Tyler Justice and is battling there with the number 2 of DJ Hargrove for that 11th spot. A little ways behind them in 13th is Gordon Larson Jr. He'll be battling for a championship tomorrow night on PSI TV in the NMNTS Grand National Series at Homestead-Miami Speedway. He's just ahead of teammate Craig Lerman. They're battling for the 12th position. Brennan Elshoff a little ways behind these guys in the number 61 Napa Chevrolet. Brennan Elshoff only in his 3rd start in the series. He's a dirt guy coming over asphalt, and he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but he's doing a great job here tonight in the 14th position. Just a little ways actually ahead of Corey Walters. Corey Walters out of the MRM stable battling currently with Aiden Young. And these guys I think will get pretty racy with each other. I think these would be a couple of the more aggressive drivers. Even if they aren't always battling for the lead, they'll certainly put up a fight, whether you're battling for first to last. I think these guys are 2 of the toughest guys to get around. In the 17th position, Terry Mason, our 2017 NMNTS Disabled Military Veterans ARCA Series champion on Sunday nights, also has been racing in the Truck Series here on Monday nights and the Tuesday night Grand National Series, but didn't make the championship battle in either one of those series. Actually played Mr. Consistent to make it to the championship there in the ARCA Series, and ended up taking that win by storm. So even though he had no race wins, he did end up taking the championship just by playing Mr. Consistent throughout all of 2017, from Daytona, New Smyrna, Southern National, all the way through to South Boston and Texas. So it was one heck of a season over there in the ARCA Series. Want to congratulate Terry Mason once more on winning that championship. In the 18th position, though, actually second place in the ARCA Series, was Jason Alexander in the number 5. Jason Alexander almost made the 2017 Truck Series hunt. Came up just a little bit short, though, at Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Indiana. Illinois, sorry. I know I probably just angered a very specific group of people. I meant Illinois. This has been a bit of a race. It's been an hour and 20 minutes we've been live, and that I've been talking myself. And I am the only one up in the booth here tonight, so if I take a long break from talking, I'm probably getting a drink of water, as I'm the only one that's up here actually saying anything and helping out here tonight. But that should change for tomorrow night's event. Cody West currently riding around in the 19th spot, trying to chase down Jason Alexander for the 18th spot. Cody West in the unsponsored number 77. So if you want to sponsor somebody, this is your guy for next year's IndyCar series here in the NMNTS Racing Series. That'll be running on Tuesday nights. And I'll tell you what, as one of the guys with a bit of a foot in the door on that series, that should be a lot of fun, from places like Daytona through Long Beach, Phoenix, Barber, Indianapolis, of course, some places like Canadian Tire possibly as well, Watkins Glen, obviously, Sonoma, Mid-Ohio, a bunch of awesome racetracks in store for that IndyCar series in 2018. But in the 20th position, we're going to find Ryan Daniels in the number 87. He's actually trying to chase down Cody West. And he's actually not too far behind. They're only separated by about a second, it looks like. And PJ Popham coming up on fresh tires. That's not for position. PJ Popham, I believe, is a little further back. Actually, that is for position. PJ Popham just went on by the number 87 for position. He's currently running the fastest laps on the track. So a very nice paint scheme there for Ryan Daniels, honoring the late Malcolm Young, who passed away this past weekend, an AC/DC guitarist. And unfortunately, he did pass away. I believe Sunday morning. I want to say, or Saturday night, one of the two. And Ryan Daniels actually was on a band at some point earlier in his life, and Malcolm Young was his inspiration for getting into guitar and learning music. Riding around in the 22nd position is going to be Alan Westman in the number 17. We haven't seen him here in a while in that no brakes Chevrolet, but it's nice to see him back out on track. In the number 99 is going to be Ronald White, rounding out your group of guys only one lap down. Ronald White in the number 99, one of the older crowd here in the NMNTS Racing Series, but is always extremely respectful to leaders and everyone else that he's racing, and always just wants to do his best. In the 23rd position, Derek Robinson is riding around right now in the 818. 5 laps off pace, unfortunately. And behind him is going to be Billy Hargrove, 7 laps off of the lead in that Notre Dame Chevrolet. Back up to the lead, though, as these guys are going to be getting ready for pit stops one more time before this race is over. Tyler Justice still in command of this race, now by almost 9 seconds. Mike Bruno still ahead of Mark Broderick, as these guys continue to battle on for that second position in not only the race, but also the championship battle. And I think these guys are kind of riding around trying to figure something out, trying to catch up, or at least minimize losses to Tyler Justice, as they are 8, almost 9 seconds behind. And, I mean, they've just got to try and find a way to minimize their losses to him, make sure to not go a lap down. I mean, that would be incredible if Tyler Justice puts the entire field a lap down, but I wouldn't put it out of the realm of mind, as Tyler Justice, one of the fastest guys I've ever seen on iRacing, next to the Peak Antifreeze guys that race sanctioned by NASCAR. But I tell you what, Tyler Justice, one of the best, at least in the NMNTS Racing Series, if not in general, and he's putting on one heck of a show here in that Cinespec Chevrolet. And Spence Thompson has actually just hit the pit lane. Spence Thompson trying to play the short pit strategy. A great move by him, I think. I really like that move, and he's going to drag in, it looks like, Zach Lindgren to the pits as well. So Zach Lindgren making his way down the pit lane in the number 85 behind teammate Spence Thompson. Spence Thompson battling for the championship. Zach Lindgren just trying to run another good race. Zach Lindgren going to get into his box perfectly. They're both going to get 4 tires, I would imagine. And Spence Thompson actually may have just taken 2. He's going to exit the pit lane already. He may have just taken 2 tires. We'll look for him, and yeah, Spence Thompson with a 2 tire stop there. That's one heck of a move to try and get out there and make something happen, get ahead of Tyler Justice. A few more guys coming into the pit lane, most notably Mike Bruno also in the pits in the number 19. We'll see if he gets left side tires, and he will. He'll get left side tires in that number 19, which Spence Thompson did not, and he'll fire away now. We also see Tyler Justice making his way into the pit lane, and that means Mark Broderick is going to cycle back into the lead in the number 34 Tide Chevrolet, so move him back into, actually into P number 1 for the first time all night. Tyler Justice going to get right sides now, moving over to the left side of the truck, getting left side tires. He'll get 4 tires and get out of his pit box. Mark Broderick is now the next guy we have to look to for a pit stop, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to run this run out as far as he can to try and wait on a caution. It would be kind of the logical thing to do if I'm Mark Broderick. The rest of the guys that I'm racing already just pitted, and either way, I'm going to need a caution to really catch Tyler Justice. So I may as well run this stint out on these tires and this tank of gas. Try and wait on a caution. The worst thing that happens is I'm already behind Tyler Justice where I was. So if I'm Mark Broderick, I'm going to run this thing out, see what I can do. We also have Corey Walters and Ronald White hitting the pit lane. Just about everyone has already come in to get service. It looks like Derek Robinson is still running out there on these current tires. maybe Ryan Daniels as well. And actually, Ryan Daniels has been running for the longest, it looks like, out of anyone next to Mark Broderick here in the number 34, as Mark Broderick continues to lead, but on older tires. Jason Burge is currently in the second position, quite a ways behind Mark Broderick, actually about 18 seconds as this run wages on. Tyler Justice still on the lead lap. Didn't even lose a lap there, even though he pitted, and now he's running, looks like, the fastest laps all race. Trying to catch back up, trying to make something happen, and we'll look now to the strategy call from Spence Thompson. He only took 2 tires, and that didn't catch him up, it didn't put him ahead of anyone, but he may be able to use this to his advantage and try and pass Mark Broderick, as he is, I mean, he's running a little ways off pace, but he's going to be making up some time on Mark Broderick as these laps go on. So even though he won't pass Mike Bruno and Tyler Justice, he might be able to put himself in a better position if we do get a late race caution. After Mark Broderick comes in, he might be ahead of that 34 already, which would help him out. Jason Burgess has now hit the pit lane in the number 23. He jacks up the right side of the truck, assuming he will also get left side tires. And this is kind of a long ways to go on just right side of tires for Spence Thompson, so it's going to be a risky strategy, but it might be one that works out if we get a late race caution just a little while after Mark Broderick does come in for 4 tires and fuel. And Mark Broderick now in the pit lane. We saw him slowing down on the apron to make it into the pits. He'll come through the pit lane now, get 4 tires and fuel on that number 34. At least we'd assume, but we saw Spence Thompson go with just 2 tires, so we could see the same thing here out of the number 34 to try and make something happen. He'll stop in his box. We'll have to see how many times his truck jacks up. The right side going up now. And of course, obviously going to get at least 2 tires, and he won't fire away just yet. That means he is going for the normal 4-tire stop. A very interesting move out of Spence Thompson to take 2 tires, and we'll see if it pays off, at least to get by this number 34. I'm not totally sure, and actually he will. He will pass the 34 of Mark Broderick. So that's going to be an interesting move, one to watch. Spence Thompson now kind of making noise as far as strategy calls. We'll have to see how that pays off for him. And now a couple of guys on the longest run is going to be Brennan Elsoff, currently running in the 10th position in the number 61. Just trying to nurse that thing around. He's already run 51 laps on this set of tires. And Ryan Daniels, also in the number 87, has run 51 laps on this set of tires, trying to run this thing out as long as he can. Back up to the front, though. DJ Hargrove in the number 2, still leading this race. Actually, he assumed the lead when Mark Broderick came in, and he's led 6. He's only got a 2-second lead, though, over Trevor Harmon, and then Tyler Justice. Tyler Justice already going to work his way into the lead, it looks like. He may not even have to wait for somebody to pit to do it. Looks like Trevor Harmon going to pit this time by, as he'll slow down to get onto the access road here in turn 3. Tyler Justice setting sail for that number 2 of DJ Hargrove. And I don't know when DJ's going to pit, but he has to start thinking about it, considering the leader's about to start boring down on him. And this is just, I mean, this is one heck of a run that I haven't seen out of anyone, really, out of Tyler Justice here tonight. I haven't seen anything like this on iRacing, at least not in quite a while. He's about to run down DJ Hargrove to get that position for the lead back under green without DJ Hargrove having to pit ahead of him. DJ Hargrove has not pitted yet. Michael Redding also is not pitted. PJ Popham is on 30-lap old tires as well. I would assume he has to pit one more time. Aiden Young, Brendan Elshoff, Alan Westman will also be in the pit lane at some point soon. But Tyler Justice about to make the pass to get back into the lead ahead of DJ Hargrove. He's closing in on the 2 corner by corner. Only 2 tenths behind now, a tenth and a half, a tenth, and he's going to easily motor by that number 2, I think, here in turns 1 and 2 for the lead with just 32 laps to go. Tyler Justice back to the lead here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. and he is your championship leader. And I think it's hard to argue now that it's going to be hard, or that it'll be hard to beat him. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Justice has just set sail since the start. He took the pole only by 200 to the second over teammate Mark Broderick, but since then it's been a clinic that Tyler Justice has put on the rest of the field, just taking off. Currently has a 7-second lead over the next championship competitor in Mike Bruno. And those guys did pit at the same lap, interestingly enough, or actually 1 lap apart. Mike Bruno came in a lap before Tyler Justice, Spence Thompson a lap before Mike Bruno, and then it looks like Mark Broderick came in about 8 laps later than Spence Thompson. So that'll be an interesting battle to see, as actually the number 34, Mark Broderick, starting to close back in on the number 89. Be interesting to see exactly how long it takes him to get by the number 89, and just what kind of a battle the 89 puts on. It's about a 2-second gap now, as Mark Broderick going to work his way easily by Craig Lerman. A bit of lap traffic there, as he'll continue on in his pursuit of the number 89 of Spence Thompson, trying to get back into third in the championship battle. And I really do think it's going to be near impossible to beat Tyler Justice at this point. I think it would take a serious problem for Tyler Justice to even have any thought of not winning this race at this point. He's got a 9-second lead over Mike Bruno, as Mike Bruno continues to fall further and further back, lap by lap. You can tell he's driving it hard, trying to catch Tyler Justice, just because he's already run the tires off it trying to catch Tyler. And he's going to start falling further and further back as laps wind down. But DJ Hargrove hasn't pitted just yet. He's still running in second, 3 seconds behind Tyler Justice. And, you know, he's, I guess, trying to play championship spoiler, but there's not going to be a whole lot he can do from his current situation other than wait for a caution to come out. Tyler Justice still leading this race. He's put on one heck of a show here tonight, just kind of taking off and checking out on the whole field. He's got almost 9 seconds on Mike Bruno currently. But Mark Broderick starting to close in quicker and quicker, and actually I think he may have already passed Spence Thompson. Actually, no, he's working on him right now. He's on the back end of Spence Thompson. Spence Thompson going to take the defensive line into turns 3 and 4, try and battle Mark. Actually, no, he's going to let him go. I think Spence knows that he doesn't really have anything to fight with right now. It's better to just let Mark go and hope for a caution than try and battle him and possibly tear that number 89 up. So an easy battle there. Mark Broderick easily going to take that 4th position back, as now he'll just have to wait for DJ Hargrove to pit to get that 3rd position from DJ Hargrove. And I'm not sure at this point that we're going to see any cautions in this race. I know DJ Hargrove has to be waiting on one. Actually, we're seeing another pit stop here from Spence Thompson. I think those 2 tires just weren't working out. He's going to end up coming in. That's an interesting move right there, because I mean, we don't have to pit again, but he's going to be coming into the pit lane, getting, I would assume, 4 tires on that truck. And serious championship implications here for Spence Thompson and the number 89. So Spence Thompson making the pit stop. This is kind of unprecedented with 26 laps to go. He already made that pit stop a little while ago, but he only took 2 tires, so now he's coming in, getting 4 tires, maybe just hoping that's going to be better off than running out there with 2 tires, risking tearing the truck up. And he's going to fall way back in the standings, obviously going to go a lap down with that unprecedented pit stop. As we go back up to the front of the field, Tyler Justice still leading this thing, putting on a clinic. Got a 7.5 second lead over DJ Hargrove, and another second back to Mike Bruno, as actually Mike Bruno is going to be closing in on DJ Hargrove any minute now, really. As DJ Hargrove putting up a heck of a fight, actually, on 50-lap-old tires. Has not pitted yet. Has run 30 laps further than the rest of these guys, but at this point in the race, or at this point in the run, rather, as their tires start to fall off, DJs aren't too bad in comparison. Mike Bruno going to make quick work of DJ Hargrove, easily take that second position back from DJ as we look back on the number 2 from the right rear of the 19. Actually, DJ Hargrove hard in the wall out of turn 4. We'll have to see exactly what that does to that truck. I would imagine he'll probably come into the pit lane this time by maybe make some repairs to that number 2 as well. That was a hard hit for DJ into the wall. I would imagine he'll pit this time, as yes, he will. He's going to bring that number 2 into the pit lane finally after 52 laps. And actually, he's going to go off track. He's going to go off the access road through the grass, almost back on the track, trying to come into the pit lane. And just, you know, adding insult to injury for DJ Hargrove. I don't think that'll be it. Actually, caution's out. Caution on the Speedway, the first time all night. It may be the number 02 of Michael Redding. And I think it was the number 02 of Michael Redding. We're taking a look back at what happened. He was right behind Spence Thompson. I was just about to follow up on Spence Thompson, who had fallen all the way back to 13th position, just ahead of Michael Redding at the time of the yellow. I'm not sure what happens here, but I think it involves, actually, yeah, Michael Redding into the fence, kind of the same way as Matt Skipper, ends up on the apron, comes back up the track, head on into the fence. I don't think he's going to collect anyone, but right in front of the rest of the field, and he quickly gets that car off track. This is iRacing, so you can immediately escape from the track and bring that car to the pits, but an early ending to Michael Redding's event. And so for the first time all night, we'll get to see these guys come down the pit lane all together, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with Spence Thompson, as these three from the MR Motorsports stable, in one way or another, are your current top three in the championship battle. Tyler Justice, Mike Bruno, and Mark Broderick. But Spence Thompson had pitted just a little while ago and now is a lap down and trapped there. And we're actually going to try and bring up Spence Thompson into the interview booth, get a word on just what happened there. Spence Thompson, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, Andrew.
Well, Spence, you were running on 2 tires, I do believe, on that last green flag pit stop with the rest of the field. And then you came in a little while after to get 4 tires. Can you tell us what that was all about?
No, we had a problem with the fuel. We were getting set up to take just 2 and then a full load of fuel. And then the problem was, though, the fuel can't, all the fuel didn't get put into the car, and we were pretty much running on fumes at that point right there. So we were trying to think outside the box and then just kind of, come up with a different strategy that no one else was doing to see if we could get any kind of ground made up, but we made a mistake on the pit deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that sucks to hear, but at least you'll have a chance here under this caution to try and get that lap back, as all the lead lap cars ahead of you did pit, so it looks like you'll get your wave around here at some point to try and get back into this championship battle. You'll have a ways to go in just 20 laps, but if you do get another caution, it looks like you might be right back in it. So this will be interesting to see for your number 89 crew, but we're rooting for you, bud, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully it's exciting no matter what.
Appreciate it, man. That's what we're kind of hoping for, too. We're just kind of maybe like hoping for one of them quick yells so that we can get in and get fuel and tires, and then hopefully kind of even playing field with the rest of the leaders there. Try to see if we can get this thing.
For sure, man. Well, we'll let you go and figure out the rest of the race here with your team. It's been fun watching you and the rest of the field here tonight. Best of luck to you in the next 20 laps.
Appreciate it, Andrew.
And again, that's Spence Thompson in the number 89. He is now working from the back to try and get this championship, and it's not going to be easy. He's going to have to take the wave around here and try and catch back up to the rest of the field and try and make something happen. But real quick, I just want to mention we will be bringing up Michael Redding from the wreckage there in just a moment once these guys go green, but we're going to cover the rest of the caution here. He currently joins only a handful of trucks in the garage, such as Derek Robinson, Billy Hargrove, Kenneth Yantz, David Heiza, Matt Skipper, and Austin Jones. 1 lap to green. These guys are going to have to go all the way back around the racetrack to try and get caught back up. They'll go by the pace car, get their lap back, and that's going to be a plethora of drivers doing so. It looks like from 8th all the way back to 15th is going to take the wave round, get back on the lead lap the hard way under caution because they won't have any tires now. They're going to be on old tires, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens here. Back up to the front, though, Tyler Justice, Mike Bruno, Mark Broderick all doubled up, ready to get going once more. Tyler Justice has control of the restart. He has the opportunity to start this race whenever he wants after the pace car dips into the pit lane out of turn 4. So that's gonna be something to watch for if Tyler Justice launches right away or tries to play a game on the restart, try and catch the rest of the guys off guard here. As we see only 10 cars doubled up with the field. Everyone else going to be wave around or otherwise as we're getting ready for the restart here out of turn 4. Pace car off and away. Tyler Justice on the gas, already getting restarted, trying to get a jump on the field, and he will. So Tyler Justice with the lead already off into turns 1 and 2 over Mike Bruno. He's got about 2 truck lengths on him, maybe 3. As we go through turns 1 and 2, I think it's going to be hard to get him, but now is going to be when Mike Bruno has the best chance to try and get Tyler Justice. He's going to try and play with the air off into turn 3 to try and get any advantage he can on Tyler Justice through these corners, and these are kind of the tighter corners of the track, as he's going to try and find a way up to Tyler Justice to try and pass him. It's going to be hard, I know that. It's going to be hard to beat Tyler Justice here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. He's been practicing a lot. He's put in probably 1,000 laps or more of practice on the iRacing sim, and already Mike Bruno starting to lose time. But we'll go back to the number 34, trying to pursue Mike Bruno and Tyler Justice at the same time, trying to make up some time, and it doesn't look like these guys are going to have a chance to catch Tyler Justice just yet. As these guys come out of turn 4, we'll take a look at kind of a cinematic shot. They'll fan, or rather kind of condense into a single file line pretty much as we come through the back or the front straightaway off into turn 1. And Mike Bruno now has to deal with Mark Broderick right on his tailgate just about. Mark Broderick gets the run out of turn 2, going to try and draw up to the 19 of Mike Bruno and make something happen. Going to try and work the top side, it looks like, on Mike Bruno. He actually has the nose to the right rear, trying to make the pass. Won't get it done just yet. Almost gets up into the fence. Trying to find some room around Mike Bruno for that second spot in the championship. And that would put him in the perfect spot in case something happens to Tyler Justice, which is unlikely, but still possible. If something happens to that number 7, you want to be right there to try and capitalize on it. Mark Broderick currently in the 3rd position. We know he's hungry just as everyone else, trying to find a way by Mike Bruno in the number 19. Hasn't found it just yet. They're about a second back of the leader, and I mean, they have to try and focus on the leader now and try and get up to him. They're already a second back. They got to try and find a way to work together, try and maybe use the draft, kind of like Daytona, in an odd way to try and get up there. I mean, that's the best way. If you battle, you're just going to slow each other down. So you got to find a way to maybe slingshot each other by. I don't know. It's hard to use the draft here on a 1.5 miles because you do have to brake, but if you can find a way to do it, you have to right now. You have to do anything you can to try and get back up there to Tyler Justice. We'll look back from Tyler Justice's right rear at the ever smaller dot of Mike Bruno and now Mark Broderick as well. And going back to about 9th position is going to be Spence Thompson. He made his way through a large part of the field, actually. He's into 9th spot, but he has old tires. He needs a caution to come out if he wants to have a chance at the championship. And even then, it's going to be difficult to work his way through the field. But if anyone knows how to do it, it's going to be reigning champion Spence Thompson in the number 89. But I don't think he's going to have a very good chance to try and do it here. He's in 9th spot, about 5-6 seconds, actually 8th spot, about 6 seconds behind the leader already, and just has no way of getting up to Tyler Justice right now. Jared Beasley currently running in the 4th spot right behind a couple of championship contenders. I guess just trying to let them battle it out and follow suit in case something happens. He'll be able to capitalize on it. But right now, Tyler Justice still walking away from these guys. increasing his lead now over a second all around the racetrack. Over Mike Bruno in the number 19 as he continues to try and fend that position off from the number 34 of Mark Broderick. Mark Broderick tried to shove it off into the corner. Actually, he's going to have a run on Mike out of the corner. He has the nose underneath Mike Bruno into turn 1. He's going to have to drive it in and try and make a slide job or something work. Mike Bruno going to pinch him down. Contact made out of turn 2. Mike Bruno tried to pinch Mark Broderick on the inside. Mark was having nothing of it. Gave Mike a slight shot to the door and actually checked up. I guess didn't want to wreck either one of them. And they'll continue on. They are working together. I believe they're in the same affiliation currently, as Mark Broderick still trying to find a way around that number 19 SimSpec Chevrolet. He hasn't found it just yet. Almost had it that time. As you can see, the damage done to the number 19. Just a little bit to the left front. You know, you got to try anything you can to try and get by another one of these championship competitors, and we saw it right there out of Mark Broderick trying to make the bottom side work on the inside of Mike Bruno. It didn't quite work, and he had to jump out of the throttle before he wrecked them both, and that's why you saw him fall almost a second further back of Tyler Justice now. And now coming to 6 laps to go, Tyler Justice still has a firm lead over the rest of the field. Mark Broderick starting to fall further and further back. I know he's got a damaged right side, and actually he's going to... I think he had a moment there off into turn 3. We'll have to go back and see what happens here real quick, as these guys only have 6 laps to go. Something happened to Mark Broderick as he was trying to run the top side. Gets into the fence there through turn 2. Just ahead of teammate Jared Beasley, trying to make something work on the top side, trying to find any speed he can. I think he ends up getting the wall here again. Actually, no, maybe was trying to pit. Ends up going through the grass in turns 3 and 4 back up onto the racetrack, and will have to go around again. I'm not sure exactly what Mark Broderick is trying to do, but he's going to fall all the way now behind Spence Thompson. So Spence Thompson now in the 3rd spot in the championship battle with just 5 laps to go, but he's got a long ways to go to Tyler Justice. Almost 8 seconds. Yeah, now 8 seconds all the way up to Tyler. Tyler Justice still leading this race and has a commanding lead over 2nd place Mike Bruno. Almost 2 seconds now. Mike Bruno just has to sit back and hope that Tyler messes up, maybe gets into the wall or something else happens, because now if a caution comes out, the race is over and there's no chance for Mike to be able to have a restart to beat Tyler Justice. We only had that one caution earlier on in the event. These guys have put on a great show tonight, very clean racing, and tell you what, it's going to come down to these last 3 laps, the last 4.5 miles of the 2017 NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series Championship Series here in 2017. Sorry, it's been a long race again. You know, my words are starting to escape me, but continuing on with just 3 laps to go, 4.5 miles as these guys are trying to find any advantage over one another that they can. Spence Thompson still has a spot over Mark Broderick by about 1/10 of a second, as those guys will continue to battle. Mark Broderick trying to find his way back around the number 89 and possibly not for position, but possibly by the number 28 as well, as Spence Thompson still running in the 6th position, just ahead of Mark Broderick here, as Mark Broderick actually tries to get a run on the bottom side. He will get the run with just 2 laps to go. This is for 3rd place in the championship, though. Mark Broderick trying to make the pass on Spence Thompson. He's going to try and make it here in turns 1 and 2. It looks like he'll make it happen. Spence Thompson on the older tires, maybe going to try to cross over here out of turn 2. He's going to fall in behind the 34. Actually, no, he's going to dip down off into turn 3, trying to make something happen. As the leader, Tyler Justice, coming around to take the white flag. Tyler Justice, 1 lap away, 1.5 miles away from a championship here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. About to win the 2017 NMNTS Truck Series Championship. Spence Thompson won it last year. Tyler Justice, through turns 3 and 4, about to win it in 2017. Tyler Justice out of turn 4 for the final time tonight. Puts on a dominating performance and will be your 2017 NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series champion. Spence Thompson going to come across the line just behind Mark Broderick, as Mark Broderick was able to make the pass on Spence in that final lap. Back up to the front. Tyler Justice, with a dominating performance, will take the win and the championship here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. He's your champion in the NMNTS SimSpec Truck Series championship series. And Zach Lindgren up to congratulate him. Mike Bruno as well. Mark Broderick also coming up to congratulate Tyler Justice. It's been one heck of a ride, and congratulations, Tyler Justice, on this dominating performance and the championship. Everyone coming up over the mic and all teams to congratulate Tyler Justice on one heck of a ride. And your fourth place finisher, actually your seventh place finisher on the night, but your fourth place finisher in the championship this season, Spence Thompson, coming up to the booth. Spence Thompson, this is Andrew at the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, Andrew.
Well, Spence, I know it sounds like you're a little bit disappointed after this run, but man, you're going to still walk away fourth place, and I think a 2.5 average finish is nothing to be ashamed of here in the NMNTS Truck Series, for the season overall anyway. And fourth place, maybe not what you wanted, obviously, since you're going to come home seventh place. And I can hear the dejection in your voice after kind of a disappointing run here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. But just give us your final thoughts on the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, besides this one right here, man, like I said, we were never able to kind of get up there and can try to contend for the lead, man. Tyler was just in his own zip code tonight, man. I mean, with the race, with how the race went for us last season, I figured we'd probably be up there and be able to get something and try to contend with it, though. But I mean, the thing was, like I said, we couldn't get up there and contend for the lead at all tonight, man. Stuff just didn't fall our way, and then we had an issue happened on pit road where we were trying to take two tires, and then something happened. Like I said, something happened when the fuel wasn't all put into the car for some reason. We took off, and luckily Bradley in the pit box tonight, man. I gotta give a big tip of the hat to him tonight, though, man. He did a good job on the pit box, but yeah, something, like I said, something just happened with the fuel. It didn't all go into the car, but looking back on the whole season as a whole, though, man, I mean, there's plenty of good stuff that we can take away from this year. I mean, we maybe not won a whole bunch of races. I mean, I think we only won like a couple of them this season, but they were big notable races. Like, we were able to get the win at Darlington right there. That one was pretty special. Nearly won a race at Michigan. Like I said, just can't say enough for all these guys on this WFO Motorsports team this year, man. They just they did disappoint me, and I'm sure as heck hope I just didn't disappoint them. Gotta give a big thanks, though, to Bradley Wilson, man. I know he's probably dejected a little bit that stuff happened, like I said, on the pit road deal, though, man. But I truly got to thank him like so much for giving me the chance to drive these race cars for him, though, man. I'm driving for, I think, the best team in the league today. But I mean, on the other hand, though, too, we got to give a big attaboy to those MR Motorsports cars, though, man. All them guys were tough this season, and we knew it was going to be an uphill battle today, though, bud.
For sure. Well, Spence, again, you can't hang your head too low. You did end up finishing 4th on the season. You have another chance to get a championship tomorrow night here at this same place in the Grand National Series. So best of luck to you there. It'll be fun to watch you in that number 89 American Revolutionary Clothing Chevrolet tomorrow night. Is there anyone else you want to give a nod to?
Pretty much, I think I was able to thank all I needed to thank right there. I'll just give a big shout out to you up in the booth tonight, man. You did a good job up there as usual. Once again, a big congrats to Tyler Justice on becoming the new NMNTS Monday Night Thunder Series Truck Champion tonight. Like I said, he definitely deserves it. He was the fastest car all season. He was always tough to beat, and he definitely showed it here tonight. Once again, just thank all my WFO Motorsports guys. Gotta thank Brad Wilson again. Gotta give a big shout out to all my teammates this season. I tell you what, man, it was a heck of a year in the trucks tonight, and couldn't be happy with it. I mean, like I said, a little dejected, but definitely can come out with some positives out of the season though this year, and we'll try to go get them tomorrow night at Homestead as well in the cars.
For sure. Well, man, best luck to you tomorrow night. Be looking forward to covering that race as well. For now, though, I'll let you get back down there and debrief with your team. It was a lot of fun watching tonight, even if you didn't close it out and get the championship. It was a lot of fun, like I said. So best luck to you tomorrow night. You can't hang your head too low. Congratulations on the 4th place finish there, bud.
Appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Again, that was 4th place finishing Spence Thompson. At least on the championship, he ended up 7th place in the race tonight. And now, now we'll bring up 6th place finishing, Mark Broderick, who will end up 3rd in the championship. Mark Broderick, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Mark, I imagine this interview will go somewhat similarly to the way it did with Spence Thompson. Can tell he was definitely very dejected over not closing the deal for the championship here tonight, but you both gave it your all, and we saw you have a bit of a slip up there just a little while before the finish of the race. What happened there, man?
Oh, I was going to try and pit and get tires and hope for a quick caution because that was the only way I was going to win, and I kind of overshot the pit entrance there. Went right back up out on the track. I'm just glad I didn't go right back into the racing surface.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like you were, like I said, trying to pit, and I couldn't figure out exactly why, but it makes a lot of sense coming in, trying to utilize your only chance to win it, as you said there. But it was a lot of fun watching you. You had probably the 2nd best truck on the long run, I'd say, next to Tyler Justice, obviously. Tyler had a death grip over everyone else tonight. And I tell you what, that's one heck of a show from him. But nonetheless, you did a great job up there tonight. Can't hang your head too low, knowing you were probably the 2nd best on the long run. Just didn't get a chance to really battle with Mike on a long run. He only had about 10 laps there. So congratulations on the 3rd place. It was a lot of fun watching you. And is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for broadcasting this race. Tide Products 1000.com, Chevy, and MR Motorsports.
Well, man, sounds good. I'll let you go. We'll be looking forward to covering the race tomorrow night if you're in attendance. Hopefully you are. And, I'll tell you what, maybe didn't get the championship this year, but there's always next season, and you'll obviously be a threat to be reckoned with. It'll be one heck of a season next season. Be looking forward to it. And once more, congratulations on the 3rd place in the championship. Be looking forward to 2018.
Thank you, Andrew.
Once more, that was Mark Broderick in the number 34 Tide machine. He'll end up finishing 6th here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway, 3rd overall in the championship. And now we're going to bring up Mike Bruno. Mike Bruno, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
10-4, Andrew. I got you, buddy.
Well, Mike, it was a lot of fun watching you tonight, along with Tyler Justice and Mark Broderick. Even if it wasn't maybe a battle all race long, Tyler just had a death grip on the rest of the field. It was kind of incredible watching him go out there. But if we had another late caution, do you think you maybe had a chance to beat Tyler Justice there?
Man, Tyler, he was on rails tonight. It was kind of reminiscent of Cole Custer in the Xfinity Series race there. But I think if I maybe had beat him off pit road and got that jump on him, I might have had a shot, maybe protect that bottom line there. That was that was everything I had there at the end. I was if I had another gear, I would have been grabbing it. But Tyler did great. Spence did great. Mark did great. All the guys, man, top four. We all were running 1, 2, 3, 4 for most of the race there, and that's usually how it goes. The cream usually rises to the top, and I just want to say congrats to Tyler on the championship, and great race by everybody.
We'll tell you what, man, you can't hang your head too low just like the other two guys. You sound relatively dejected but proud of your teammate there, so just want to congratulate you on ending up second in the championship and in the race tonight. And maybe you don't have a chance tomorrow night at Homestead. You were eliminated last week, but it'll be fun to watch. You just put your expertise to work there tomorrow night here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Obviously, it looks like you have a pretty good hold of this place. It'll be fun to watch you tomorrow night, and just want to once more congratulate you on ending up second place overall in the championship here. And is there anyone else you want to thank before we get this show closed up for the night?
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, thank you as always, man. You do a great job up there. It's always fun watching your stuff afterwards. I want to thank my teammates at MR Motorsports. Mike Redding, he's got a hell of a team going there. All them teammates are awesome guys, and it's been a blast racing with them all season long. I want to thank my sponsor, SimSpec, as always. Love them guys. They helped me out a lot through the whole season. And thank you, Bradley, for this awesome league, man. This is something I look forward to every week, and I'll definitely be coming back for 2018 even stronger.
Sounds good, man. Have a good night. Be looking forward to watching tomorrow night as you try and win that race as well.
Thanks a lot, Andrew.
And now, don't have anyone else to talk to aside from Tyler Justice. So, Tyler Justice, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, Tyler, I mean, you won just about you led just about every lap. You won a lot of races throughout the season too, and just a dominating performance out of that number 7. What was the secret to going faster tonight in the truck?
I don't know. I've always liked this track. We came here last year and won, even though we weren't in the hunt last year because I joined late in the season. But put in a lot of practice at this track, and I really like it. And I found a good line there about 20 laps into the race that was really fast and wasn't killing your tires too much. So on the long run, it was good as well. But I don't know. It's just crazy. Great race by all my teammates. They all did a heck of a job. I know it's not the finish they wanted, but they all did a great job, and can't believe we got the championship.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got the ultimate prize. It looked like there was no one that could have possibly touched you out there tonight, so congratulations on the championship. It was a lot of fun racing with you from all the way from Daytona, Atlanta, just all the way through 2017, now to Homestead. Unfortunately, I didn't get to race with you tonight, but it was a lot of fun to watch, even if you just took off and completely demolished the rest of the field. So congratulations on the race win, the championship. It'll be fun to watch and see if you can do it again tomorrow night.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be going forward again tomorrow night. Hopefully we can make it 2 for 2, and just want to thank SimSpec for being on the car all season. Glad to get them a championship here, and like I said, I hope to do it again tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series. But want to thank all my teammates for being there all season, and they did a heck of a job getting to the Final Four. Everybody in the Final Four did great. Spence, Mike, and just it's crazy. I don't know. It's awesome to get this championship.
For sure, man. Well, I'll let you go down there and sort your emotions out with your team. Once more, congratulations on the championship. It was a lot of fun to watch, and even more fun to race with you throughout the season, man.
Thank you, thank you.
And again, that was your 2017 NMNTS Truck Series champion, Tyler Justice. He ends up winning the race here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway and the championship. And I just want to mention real quick, I was going to interview Michael Redding after his incident, but just that restart, that was something I had to call instead of bringing up somebody into the booth. So unfortunately, didn't get to talk to Michael Redding, and that was why. I was going to bring him up, just that restart was pretty exciting with Mike Bruno and Mark Roderick, and I had to cover that. So that was why we didn't get to bring him into the booth here tonight. But tomorrow night, same place, Same time, you'll be able to catch the NMNTS Grand National Series finale for 2017 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series cars. Tyler Justice, Spence Thompson will be the two coming from this championship battle into tomorrow's championship battle as well. And then we'll also have Zach Lindgren and Gordon Larson Jr. He'll be battling in that championship battle tomorrow night. It'll be, I believe, 145, 144, something like that, laps in that race. So just a little bit longer than tonight's event here. So it'll be pretty much the same length, just about 2 hours. And hopefully we see you all there. It was a lot of fun tonight, even if there was only one caution. That just goes to prove the caliber of these drivers here in the NMNTS Racing Series. So without further ado, I want to close the show up for the night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Scott Brotherton Images, All from Old Fleet Repair, TN Designs, Pit Stop Insider, SimSpec PC, obviously All-Star Sim Racing, and of course NMNTS Racing Series, along with, sorry, it's been a long night, along with Hambrick Auto and 5-Star Drafting. So hopefully you tune in again tomorrow night. We'll have the same guys at the same track in different cars for another championship battle, and it'll be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there.